Are you determined to get into dental school by any means necessary, no matter how long it takes? Stay tuned as we talk to a pre-dental student that shares his seven-year journey in getting into dental school. Hi, this is Dr. Darwin, a new dentist coach, with another episode of Ask Dr. Darwin on the New Dentist podcast show, where we talk about what it means to get into dental school, surviving dental school, getting into residency, and then life as a new dentist. Be sure to subscribe right here down below in my YouTube channel and hit that bell notification so that you are aware when new videos post on a weekly basis. Today, we're going to be talking to a pre-dental student and a future student doctor who has spent many long nights and has persevered and has gotten into dental school, the school that he's wanted to get into for many years. So today we're joined with future student Dr. Hariri. How you doing, man?
I am doing great, sir. How are you?
Man, I'm great now that we're able to talk about this long journey that I remember you and I have been involved with for the last at least 2 years, 1.5, 2 years, right?
Yes, sir. Absolutely. And again, Dr. Darwin, I'm very, very grateful to have met you in the first place and to have your support and your guidance in navigating the system. I really appreciate you. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome, man. You're welcome. That's what we're here. We're just reaching back so people can go forward. So,
Yes.
tell us a little bit about yourself. Just go ahead and introduce yourself.
Okay. Hey, everybody. My name is Mo Hariri. Quick background about myself. I was born here in Oregon, spent majority of my childhood in Lebanon. And this is a very crucial information that I'd like to mention for people who are applying this year is I came with a disadvantage of not speaking English as a first language because Lebanon, like we mentioned before, when me and you were talking, is a French colony. So I only spoke French and Arabic in Lebanon throughout the majority of my life before coming here. And when I came back here to Oregon at the age of 17 to continue my education, it was a whole new world for me, really. So I spent a couple years in ESL classes just so I can comprehend English, and then held a couple jobs, working as a donut baker for my uncle's industry, and then continued my education. I used to bake donuts at night, wake up in the morning, go to school, and repeat over and over again until I was able to excel toward higher, classes. And from there, it's been a wonderful journey. It's been a long, long time since I first applied, like you mentioned, for 7 years. And here I am today. It sure paid off.
Wow, man, this is amazing.
Yes, sir.
So amazing. Well, I'm so proud of you. I remember we were talking about this journey and the application process for you. We were talking about the schools and interviews. So tell us a little bit about that journey as far as when you first started, how many times you applied, the schools that you applied, the interviews, things that you were doing in preparation to finally get into dental school. Tell us a little bit about that.
Oh, sure, absolutely. So I applied for the very first time in 2013, and that was right when I graduated with a bachelor degree. I thought at that point that I had all the resources that it would take any student to get into dental school. And then I found out that I was wrong. I did not receive any interview. And you see, again, like we mentioned before, guidance that you gave me through narrowing your vision toward what you can have versus spreading your application throughout the whole net and expecting something to happen. So I recall I was very clueless on that. I do not come from a family of educated people at all. So I did not have the proper guidance back then. So with a mediocre DAT score and a compromised GPA, I sent my application to 35 schools, as I recall, for the very first time. And that is a mistake that I would really advise all the applying students, please refrain from wasting your money like that. So I did not receive any applications, any interviews at all. So then I had to sit back and assess what went wrong. And there's no shame in applying again. A lot of people would hide behind their pride over here. But I went and invested in a master's degree. And I needed that master's degree so I can open up a business. And again, I did not come from resources, but because of that, I became very resourceful. And that is a very important thing. Many people who have walked my life like steps, they would appreciate not having resources by becoming resourceful. And by resources, I mean time, health, family who's there to support you, people who can give you the proper guidance so you do not have to make their mistakes. Those are very important resources. Finances are the least of your worries when you're applying to a dental school, by the way. So of course they're very important, but I did not come from resources. So I had to engage in different industries so I can obtain those resources and continue applying year after year, because as you know, it's a very costly process from applying to supplemental applications to flying to dental schools. So I started my own business at the age of 25. I did not have the resources, but I became resourceful. My parents were in different states. My father actually was in a whole different country in Lebanon, across the globe.
Wow.
And opening my first business was very crucial for me to continue working toward my dental school.
So why is that? Why tell us a little bit about, I know you got your MBA and then you open up your business.
Exactly.
Tell us about how during the time of your application and your application process, how having a job, opening up your own business, how that still necessarily was not a distraction, but if anything, it was more towards an activity that was more or less helping you implement. Yeah, tell us a little bit about that, because that's not typical.
Yes, you are absolutely right. You're absolutely right. I know a lot of students would prefer to stay the field of dentistry, working at a dental clinic. I have put the hours, believe me. I used to work at multiple dental clinics, and I sure got the experience. However, the resources that I can obtain from working in dental clinics were not sufficient enough to sustain my lifestyle, supporting parents, because I still support my parents. And by the way, we all have a life outside of the dental field. We have family that we care about, and we're human at the end of the day. So we do have responsibilities out here. So opening the donut shop was a motivation. I knew that it will not last forever.
What was it again? What was it? What kind of shop?
Oh, it was a donut shop.
Donut shop. Oh,
yes, sir.
That's right in line with dentistry. You know, all that sugar.
Right. Hey, it's really helping the industry for us later on. We ruined the teeth, then we thought fix the problem. Pretty political, if you may. Our government has been engaging in that for quite some time now.
Right. That's right. So opening up that donut shop helped you with your vision and becoming a dentist. How?
So opening the donut shop helped me develop leadership skills. By the way, my personality and my aspect on leadership was very, very different before I started the donut shop. There's a lot of leadership in dentistry. Later on, all the students will become doctors, and then they will be leading a team of dental assistants, dental hygienists, the organizer in your clinic, billing, processing, everything. You need to have the leadership skills. And by the way, leadership skills does not only include you meeting your numbers and rates and data. It's all about communicating with your people, making them feel valued. You will not have all the people who have the same vision that you have in your dental practice later on. And it's definitely an acquired skill that you will have when you practice it, when you engage with people on a daily basis. They will not be able to do their best every day, but if they are doing what they can every day with the best intentions, that is quite enough, because in other days they will make it up for you. I had to learn that, when I was doing that business, and every day I would come to the shop, I will know that I'm getting one step closer toward gathering the resources to apply for a second year. It put me through my second master's degree, going to Barry University, by the way. That donut shop really was crucial to me. So from that business, I was able to enroll in a master's program in Miami, which was a huge step. So yes, I was engaged in business, but then I navigated again back to my original course toward dentistry. I knew my GPA wasn't good. A lot of people would blame the system. They would say, I don't know why they took me. I tried everything. No, you did not try everything. Because if you tried everything, you would have made it. And for me, I understood that my GPA was bad, and they would have been wrong to accept me with that GPA and knowledge, because it is a gamble for a dental school. So I enrolled.
You think that getting that second degree, which was not business-like, right? It was the master's degree from Barry University of Biomedical Science or something like that, right?
Yeah, yes, sir. You're right. You're correct. Yes.
You think that was a key shift for you in your application process?
A tremendous key. If I would be honest, completely honest with you, it was a tremendous key. From there, I've met most of my valuable connections over there. I've met some of the most influential people over there. Developed friendships that became family to me these days. On an academic level, yes, all the classes that we took in the program, and by the way, they're not paying me to mention this, but I'm sure other schools have the same similar programs. I really encourage people to invest in it. Some can complete it in a year, some can complete it in a couple years, but it's very important because we took anatomy, histology, immunology, what else? Physiology, all those classes. You will repeat them again in dental school. And if you have those mastered in your master's degree, you will do tremendously great in dental school. You will only have to worry about the dental part of it.
Yeah, I know, definitely know. I've come across various numbers of students, dental students now, and now who are graduates, dentists, who have gone that route, whether it be at Barry University or other schools where they have a master's in biomedical sciences, and that has been very advantageous not only for doing their application process, but as a good transition to that first year of dental school. Because you'll see in August, you'll see how all those classes that you just took not too long ago are going to come back real quick, and it's good to have that foundation. I wanted to ask you a little bit about how you stayed focused.
Yes.
Because you had a lot going on between being on the West Coast, starting a business, getting your MBA, dealing with family issues, supporting them, and then making the move from the West Side to the East Side down in Florida, and then doing that. Tell us a little bit about how you stayed focused during this process.
Yes, and that's a very important key, by the way, Dr. Darwin. The only way to stay focused is to keep reminding yourself why you are doing this. And when you find an answer to why you are doing it, you'll recall how hungry you are to do it. A lot of people are moved by dedication. A lot of people are moved by their emotion. For me, on a personal level, I'm very family oriented. I am doing this. Yes, I would love to help people later on. And yes, it's definitely going to reflect on my success in the future. However, I am doing this towards my family. My mother has sacrificed everything for me. Same goes for my father. So when I've had hard times, juggling everything at the same time, I would remember my mother and all what she's done for me. Then I would envision the goal that I have in the future of my mother never working a day again. I would envision rewarding her for all the hard time that she's been through with me over here since we moved to the States. It's been a very, very hard time. So that is my motivation. And that is the key, seeing where I am right now and what I'm going to get in the future. And that was my focus. And like Tony Robbins, I'd love to quote him on this one. He says, if you can't, you must. And if you must, you will. So the way will come.
I like that. If you can't, you must.
Absolutely, sir. Absolutely.
If
and by
you
the
must,
way,
you will.
Yes, there was another strategy. I do read a lot, by the way, in my free time. And another strategy from one of the greatest leaders, Napoleon. He was a French army leader. And in one of his ways during the wars that he won, he would say, never underestimate the importance of reassessing where you are right now at the moment, and honor the soldiers who have gone and appreciate who you have still and work with it so you can move forward. And that really helped me in my career. So every time I would apply to a dental school cycle and I would fail at getting in, I would reassess what I have right now and I will see what I have left. And at that time, when I applied for several years, like you mentioned, 7 years back to back, I would sit down and say, okay, what do I have right now? My resources are the time because I'm willing to invest all the time. Right. And when we talked last year, I told you, Dr. Darwin, I do have the resources now, but I don't have the navigation. What can I do? And that's very important. Again, reassessing what you have, being real to yourself. No one is going to give it to you. You really have to assess what you have. Everybody, might be able to predict something that comes in the future, but you can assess yourself better than anybody else. And for all those students applying again, know your weaknesses. Go over your application. Say, would I accept this person right here on numbers? Yeah. We haven't met yet. Would you accept him? So that's what I used to do every year. And I would see what is lacking and I will go ahead and fix it. Yes, it took some time, but patience is key, really. It's a very huge factor. 7 years.
Right. Yeah. So let's talk
Crazy.
about the patients and what happened this past year as far as what changed everything for you.
Yes.
Let's talk a little bit about this application year
Okay.
and the schools that you applied to for this year, and then also share with us what school you're going to be going to.
Yes, sir. So what changed this year is another important element, and you see the knowledge of getting the acceptance and how to get to it really came to me in many different cycles, in little pieces. So before I've met all those people that I know right now, I thought that you can just simply go ahead and apply and you will get in if you have the grades right. And if you can get lucky, just throw the applications out and hope for it. I learned later on that you need the right GPA. Then after learning that the GPA was not enough, I also needed to increase my hours of volunteering, my experiences. So every year I would learn something because I would call the schools and I would ask, what can I do? I am willing to invest again. And for this year, what really changed was developing all those connections. The network in dentistry is humongous. And by the way, I'm not saying this for people to just say I did not get in because of my connections. No. If you want to have good friends, become a good friend. And you do not go out there seeking connections. You do not build them by intending to build them. No, they will come to your life eventually by just being a good person. You see, Dr. Darwin, if I may ask you, why did we talk? Right? Like what did you see in me so that we're communicating? If you don't mind sharing, please.
I think for me, it was just an overall love for helping people, but also hearing your story.
Yes.
And
Yes.
hearing, and because everybody's story is different, right?
Yes,
Everyone
sir.
has their own story, and that's what makes each and every one of us unique. But there are parts of of everyone's story that's people can connect to.
Yes, sir.
Whether it's about determination, whether it's about family, whether it's about first experience in a dental office, and that led you to dentistry, whatever it
Yes, sir.
is, I think that's what allowed us to connect.
Yes, sir.
Mhm.
Yes. And you see, so you saw the value of staying the course. And again, as I recall, you were an engineer, if I am correct. Correct?
Yeah,
Yes. So you see,
architect and engineer. That's right.
yes, sir. Yes. So you saw the value of diversifying, and we basically walk the same path. And again, you see, those connections really come to you with time. And again, I would like to say to all the students who are applying this year, don't be afraid to leverage connections. Talk to people, see what you could do. Reach out to schools. One of the most ungrateful statements that I've ever heard anyone say is, "I am self-made." No one is ever self-made. Somehow somebody influenced him. Somehow somebody influenced him in a negative way and made him break through the hard times and become a better person.
Yeah.
So, and I would say I'm really not self-made in any of the process over here. So I applied again, and this was my third DAT score that I had, and this was my last year that I'll be able to apply with it. So I took your advice when we talked in the summer. I sent my application again, and you told me, said, no, you have nothing to lose. Go for it, apply. And then I started working for Amazon actually back in December. So again, I reassessed everything, and I would like to mention this to people. So I started working. So I continued working toward my third master's degree, by the way, and I will be graduating. And I'll be graduating in
My
June.
man. I love it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So I'll be graduating in June. And you see, never stop progress. You have to continue with it. And I was fortunate because in the same institution, I was able to transfer 30 credits from my MBA to my MPH. And I just had to continue the courses that were different between the two classes. And again, schools do appreciate that. They love to see that you're doing something. You are adding value to yourself. Never, ever stop adding value to yourself.
So you were working in Amazon while
Yes.
you had applied this past summer.
Yes, sir.
And did you go on any interviews? How many interviews did you have this year?
I had one interview, and that was in
Only
Indiana.
takes one. Only takes one.
Yes, sir. And that was in Indianapolis, Indiana. and I recently got my acceptance on March 10th.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, yes.
God,
So
God
Indiana,
has
you're going
been
to be
very
going to
kind to me.
Indiana.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's
It's a
great.
whole different area for me. I've been in Oregon and Seattle for majority of the time here in the States, and well, Miami for a couple of years. But Indiana is quite different, I should say.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
Yes, sir.
congratulations, man. That's great. I know it's been a long journey but it's been a journey worth a lot of new insight about yourself, I'm
Yeah,
sure, right?
absolutely,
Uh,
sir.
you know, as we kind of wrap it up, I want you to share a little bit about some advice that you would give people who are applying for dental school, maybe have applied already, didn't get in this first time, their first attempt,
Okay,
or maybe didn't even get in their second attempt. What
right.
advice did you have? At least two nuggets, two pieces of advice that you would give those people.
Yes, be patient. It's very, very important. That's if I took away anything from my experience, it's be patient with the process. When it's your time, your clock will start ticking without a battery. Your time will come. You
Right.
might have everything that it takes. And again, I'd like to use another nature metaphor. If you are planning to grow the most beautiful tulip, you can have the water, the right soil. But if you plant it in winter and expect it to blossom, that's not going to happen.
Yeah, that's the wrong time.
No, no, timing is everything. See, it took me 7 years, but that was my timing. And I don't know, whatever you people believe in, like whether it's Muhammad, Moses, Jesus, or the divine, whatever, it has a plan for you, and your time will come. Just never lose hope in it. And if you know that it will happen deep inside of you, keep chasing after it. And here's a witness. And you witnessed me applying, and after failure and after failure, and here I am today. So this could be a good testimony for all the people who are on the verge of losing hope. Another thing, really, be very resourceful. Don't be afraid to ask for help. That's another piece of advice that I'll give everybody. Get out there, get advice from people. Really, you have to have the right navigation, and get the advice from the right people who are doing it now and succeeding at it. And there's absolutely, like, no shame on asking for help.
Right. Well, that's
Yeah.
great, man. Well, again, we're so proud of you. I'm so proud of you through the
Thank you, doctor.
journey.
Thank you. I appreciate everything.
I'm. It's good to hear that I've been somewhat helpful in this
You
navigation
absolutely,
of this process,
absolutely,
whether it's encouragement, whether it's words, action, a plan of
absolutely.
action.
And you've done it all. Thank you, sir. Thank you. I'm very grateful again.
Well, you're welcome, and for those of you that are listening, be sure to, if you have any questions for myself, please be sure to shoot me an email right down here at newdentistcoach@gmail.com, newdentistcoach@gmail.com. Also, future student Dr. Hariri, can you also share the best way for people to get in contact with you as well?
Oh, absolutely, sir. My direct number is 503-490-2497, and my email. Hopefully, if you can also mention it on the site, but it is MSM Hariri, my last name, @gmail.com. I would love to help in any way I can. Again, really just want to.
MSN, what is it again?
Oh,
M?
MSM, M as in Mary, S as in Sam, M as in Mary, and my last name Hariri, Hariri. And that's at gmail.com.
Gmail.com. That way, you guys who are listening and watching, if you want to talk to him more about his story and his journey, which is a remarkable one, you can contact him there. That way, he can share with you, all the advice and the things that he's gone through over these 7 years to finally be able to step into the door and realize his dream in becoming a dentist. Doc, hey, so proud of you.
Thank you, sir.
Definitely want to
Thank you.
keep the conversation going as it relates to you transitioning into to dental school, and then
Of course.
surviving is the next thing. Surviving that first year
Yeah.
of dental school. But best of luck to you.
Thank you.
Congratulations, you guys that are watching right now. Be sure to watch the next video. I think it's on this side over here. Check out this next video right here. Hopefully, this will be helpful as well. And we'll see you on the next video. Peace, love, and
Thank you, Dr. Darwin.
smiles.
Thank you, Dr. Darwin. Absolutely.
Thanks.
Bye.